Well, good morning. Last night we saw I think the 28.5th installment of the latest superheroes movie franchisey Spider-Man-y thing, and something very interesting. While we were there, uh, I was watching everyone fill up on, all their um, popcorns and drinks and candies and stuff. And this is interesting. I remember listening to a video from Dr. Ekberg, and he said that that as you get into changing your diet, like Dr. Barry says, the proper human diet, everything will change. Your tastes and your desires, your cravings, hunger. Like again, I'm sitting here at 20 hours again, not having eaten, and I made a delicious pizza. Hopefully, I'll remember to come back to that. But the thing I wanted to hit was the nose. The nose is related to flavor and taste, and I'm telling you, I was sitting in there, and of course, I didn't have anything to eat. I'm just watching the movie. It's actually kind of neat. I didn't miss it. And you can lean forward and you can lean back, and you can and these seats are like reclining seats, so they're really nice. Yeah, but people would walk by with these popcorn, and it smelled. I mean, it was horrible. I guess me and my former self almost 8 months ago would say something like, "Oh, that smells really good," and because they work on these chemical smells and these chemical tastes to hit your dopamine centers, your opioid centers. I mean, literally, they're drugs, and you're a drug addict if you can't say no to these things. Like you can't just eat just one kind of thing, and they mean it. I mean, they're not lying to you, and you'll never get full. I bet you these guys got done eating and drinking their 44-ounce whatever the heck's and their big old thing of popcorn, and they probably went out to eat cena afterward, going to eat tacos or something. My God, because these chemicals, they block the full sensors, and they spike insulin, so you're just going to remain hungry. Insulin is also ghrelin's technically the hunger hormone, but insulin, when it's high, drains the blood out within an hour to 2 hours of all of its sugar, all of the glucose, the energy. And if you're not fat adapted, your body doesn't know what to do. And if insulin's high, it can't do anything anyway. So you are literally hungry. Your body is starving. You are full of calories that you can't access. It's like you don't have any keys to get into the storeroom. But just the smell, the stink. It's like if you guys have ever walked, I don't know, everyone's different. So say you walk into a new home. Some people like the new house smell. Or if you're in my generation, you've ever gotten into a car where someone has smoked a lot, you get in there, and there's a slime on the inside of the windshield that'll never come off. Funny how you don't mind that in your lungs, but of course you can't. There's not a solvent on earth that'll scrape that off the inside of the windshield, or the windscreen, as they say in Britain. And it's just instant headache for me. All right, I don't like new smells. I don't like the fumes that come off plastics and stuff. I never really did. And now here, man, I was like smelling, and the movie theater itself smelled gross. I know they were cleaning it. They because of the latest yada. They got to clean everything, but it wasn't the cleaning smells. Those actually smell nice. No, it's just this odor from all of this food people buy, chemicals. It's not food. I'm going to stop calling it food. These I guess pseudo edible products that people buy to just put in their mouth while they're watching the movie. The smell was horrible. I can't stand the smell of vegetable oils. I'm looking over my kitchen. I mean, I pop the lid off that every once in a while and just, you can smell the evil in those once you get the hang of it. Butter, lard, olive oil, delicious. And I go into some of these chemicals. I'll even my kids will be like, oh, they buy chips. So I'll smell the bag. Just, no. And I'll take a little taste just because I'm like, and it's like salt. Salted nothing, because I don't have the addiction anymore. So nothing triggers my brain. So anyway, I just thought I'd talk about that a little bit. Oh, yesterday, I think I've come to the perfect pizza solution. There is a bread you can make with 2 eggs, 3/8 cup of almond flour, a half tablespoon of baking powder, and I use about 2 to 3 tablespoons of butter. So I whisk the butter into the eggs, then you add the almond flour, and I put the powder on top, and I go ahead and just mix till everything's broken up. There's no gluten, so it doesn't matter. You can over mix all you want. Well, yesterday I'd forgotten. I just put 1 egg. All right, the batter came out a little thicker, and I microwaved it. It's normal 2.5 minutes. Oh man, this thing came out nice. I mean, it was tougher. It didn't break apart. It actually was springier and a little stickier, so it didn't like crack. So then I put some cream on that, garlic powder, Parmesan cheese, and then I threw some cheese on top of that. Obviously, in the edges, this is an 8x8 Pyrex, and I went ahead and then I put pepperoni, and I had pre-cooked onions, bacon, and onions, bacon, and mushrooms. The pre-cooking smell of those 3 things together. I mean, people who don't like bacon and onions cooking together, you know what? You can't be my friend. I'm sorry. Disconnect. I don't even want you following on this YouTube channel. If I find you and you put a comment in there, I'm going to ban you. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, that's weird. People who don't like bacon and onions. Oh my God. So I put that, and then I covered it with some more cheese, of course. And then I threw that into the oven, cooking next to the other batch of poison I made for the rest of my family. I really do make good pizzas. I make actually exceptional pizzas. I just don't eat them anymore. But I make them by hand. Everything I use the fosso, the well. Then I put the water in. There's some tricks. If you make the well too high, like a volcano, the water's going to come all out. But see, make a big, wide ring. And then the water sits in there, and you can just kind of and just use your 3 fingers. Keep this one handy for your telephone and stuff. And then you just scrape the sides. And my dough only has 3 ingredients. It's yeast, salt, 4. Yeast, salt, flour, and water. I don't add oils and this and that, and it's just, it's chewy. It's really. I mean, I remember it. I took a little bite of theirs just to taste it, and then I sectioned it in 4 slices, 4 squares. Absolutely delicious. And I put Frank's mounted with butter on it. And I was just munching that down. And then I made this big old hamburger patty. I think this volume, whatever I can cup in my hands, and I think that's pretty much 300 grams. I fried that down in butter, just a little bit of salt, and then I took 2 pieces of Gouda, and I kind of pushed down in the middle, and I dropped an egg in there, so the yolk just stayed kind of right in the center. I put the lid on and just finished cooking it till the yolk was just slightly jiggly, and then popped the yolk, and that smeared all over and then I rounded out the rest of that meal with some chicharron. So anyway, that's my beautiful, wonderful ketovore, carnivore, intermittent fasting, time-controlled eating life. I love it. Totally recommend it. Obviously, I've been going now for several months. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. In 6 days, it will have been my 8th month. And I'm not losing my hair. I don't think I look very ill. No, I've never felt better. I can tear ass upstairs. I can do a sprint if I need to. I can walk several miles. I don't need to eat. And like I said, if people start threatening with this food shortages, this and that, I'm like, okay, so there's a food shortage. So I won't eat for a couple of weeks. I got water. Comes out of the faucet. May not be the best. But, you do what you do. And if you're not an addict to food, if you don't have any addictions like I don't, then when it becomes available, pack it on, man. Pack it on. Buy as much meat as you can. Dry it in the sun with salt. Try to get salt. Salt's gonna be the good commodity. And then just try to grab fats wherever you can get them. Eggs, hard boil the hell out of those. Those will last for several months, especially in the fridge. I mean, they will just last. Or hard boil them and freeze them. Matter of fact, I'm going to do a test. I'm actually going to freeze a hard boiled egg, in shell and out of shell, and I'll see kind of how they. Let me see how they work after about a week. Might be fun. All right. So anyway, matter of fact, I think the freezing process. There's still some moisture in the egg, even when it's hard boiled. It may expand and pop the shell all by itself, which would be kind of neat. I'll test it. But either way, that's the end of that. So I'll be, it's Sunday, so I'm rambling a little bit. Got my coffee. And cheers. Have a happy Sunday, and we'll catch you guys in the next video. Talk to you soon. Bye.